Hello, beloved friends, and welcome once again to another Divine Laws program where you and I study the very laws that shall govern our lives, not only for now, but throughout immortality. So it is with much gratitude in our hearts for the guardian angels and mentor spirits who prepared these moments for us, that we shall now focus our attention on question 123 of the Spirit's Book by Kardec. Shall we? In this question, Kardec asks, why does God allow spirits to follow the path of evil? Excellent question by Kardec, as always. And the illuminated spirits answer to Kardec and all of us in the following manner. How do you dare ask God to give account for the divine acts? Do you think you can delve into God's will? Instead, you should say that God's wisdom is found in the freedom of choice that has been granted to each spirit, so that each one may have the merit of its own deeds. So, what beautiful wisdom on the part of God, beloved friends. God loves us so dearly that God has allowed for us in God's perfect designs to be co creators with God. God is so loving that God does not wish for us to robotically respond to God's own wishes. God does not wish for us to love because of God's own choices. Rather, God wishes for us, for example, to feel the power of unconditional love within our hearts by the power of our own choices. What a blessing it is, dear friends, for God to have given all of us equally the same opportunities to acquire wisdom so that we can make better choices out of our own accord. And God is so perfect that God has allowed for the divine laws to be number one, personified by Master Jesus, who to date exemplifies the fulfillment of the divine laws to us. And two, God has allowed for Spiritism to do away with the surrounding God's wisdom. Now, dear friends, through Spiritism, know how to understand, how to read, how to make sense of God's wisdom, because there are no more mysteries. What a blessing, dear friends. So, question for us: how are you and I making use of the freedom of choice that God has granted us out of love? Are we making choices that are constructive in nature or destructive in nature? Secondly, are we making choices that benefit only ourselves, or are we learning to make choices that benefit the collective good? For example, beloved friends, Spiritism is a source of divine love and wisdom that is meant to be shared with the entire world because God has no favorites. This is why Kardec Radio and all of its hosts are is committed to spreading Spiritism in English so it can reach far and wide. How about us? We know that Ebony Hello, dear Ebony. So nice to see you here. We know that Ebony and many of us already embrace this cause of spreading Spiritism in English so that it can reach many, many hearts. Because this is the divine light that sheds hope onto our lives so we can use our free will to spread it to others. First, we can spread it through our vibrations, then we can spread it through our feelings, then we can spread it through our thoughts, actions, and words. Let us then, beloved friends, use our free will constructively, thanking God that we in the human kingdom have been given the capacity to discern. So we know that Spiritism is the light of our lives because we can reason it. And in reasoning it so, we can utilize our freedom of choice further in order to spread it to others for the greater good. What a beautiful proposal from on high. So let us utilize our vibrations, our prayers, our feelings, thoughts, words, social media, text messages to spread this light that nourishes our souls. Shall we? And we can always count on Kardec Radio to keep the torch of divine light and hope going because, as we know it, Kardec Radio is always here to nourish our souls. Thank you, beloved friends, for these precious moments of togetherness in the good. We wish everyone many, many blessings. Hello, Rose. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we would like to thank everyone who is here, either live or on demand. It is a blessing, precious time for us to nourish our souls together with wisdom for immortality. So, thank you, beloved friends, for the gift of your presence and the gift of our togetherness in the good. We already look forward to new moments of togetherness in the good next time. In the meantime, let us allow this light to keep on shining and let us stay tuned to Kardec Radio, where you and I are always nourishing our souls. Bye for now, and many blessings, dear friends.